Hey guys, welcome to the third and final part of my Smash Bros. Ultimate 1.2.1 tier list video. In this video, I'm going to be covering the mid tiers and the low tiers. I'm doing them both in one video because there just aren't that many characters in both of those tiers compared to, well, at least the high tiers. And for those just tuning in for this one, the way I do this tier list is that I'm basing it basically 50-50 based off of my own opinions and off of results that I've seen. Also, there are no orders within tiers. This is a little annoying for me because I actually just got through like 75% of the video and then realized that it wasn't recording. So yeah, I'm going to be saying all this stuff over and over again after I just said it to myself. But anyway, so starting off with Robin. Robin is still, fairly the same. Although she has some buffs because of the game's mechanics, those affect every character in the game, so they're not going to really boost her too much more. She does have a buff in that she can use like Levin Sword Nair right now, and her projectile campy game is stronger because you can't traditionally power shield, so it's more difficult to try and like have to parry things. But she's still a really slow character, has difficult with people getting in her face. I also believe her recovery was nerfed, although she can angle it now, but what I believe is that she doesn't get as many repetitions of the up B before losing the book. I'm not 100% sure of this, but I've seen that happen a lot where people will hit Robin multiple times off stage. They won't necessarily gimp her, but they will hit her enough times so that she just can't recover anymore because she loses the up B from doing it too many times. All right, next up we have Mr. Game & Watch. He's received some interesting changes, notably forward air is now the bomb, which is pretty interesting. He seems, pretty solid in terms of the way he can edge guard and get kills early with like up smash like he could in Smash 4, but I'm not seeing anything that really gives him that it factor to bring him up higher than this, and it's a character that we need to see more representation of, more results from. He's still really light and can still struggle in disadvantage, so I'm going to put him in mid tier for now. All right, next up we have Mii Brawler. So Mii Brawler, definitely compared to Smash 4, if you're looking at like the broken small custom Mii Brawler, although you can use all of the different specials in Ultimate, usually in tournament rule sets so far. Helicopter Kick was the notable one, and it's been nerfed significantly. It doesn't kill ridiculously early like it used to. The character seems like a very simple, kind of fundamental character, but nothing crazy broken about him to bring him out of the mid tier. He just seems like solid, but he doesn't really have anything ridiculous. So that's why I'm leaving him there. All right, next up we have Jigglypuff. I really like Jigglypuff in this game. I feel like she's been buffed since Smash 4, and I feel like this is the best incarnation of Jigglypuff since Melee. She's obviously nowhere near as good as Melee Jigglypuff, but way better than Brawl and Smash 4. The inability to air dodge off stage makes her aerials and her edge guarding really dangerous. It already was dangerous even when she was a low tier, but now that you can't just air dodge for free, she can really give you a lot of trouble with fair and neutral air off stage, and can be really difficult for some characters that have poor disadvantages and or recoveries. She may have rest confirms. I've seen some stuff on Twitter. I'm not sure how true any of that stuff is, but it seems like she has some combos into it. She has a weird change in that back air turns you around, which you could look at as either a buff or a nerf depending on the situation. Like she can back air and then chain that to forward airs off stage. That's good, but maybe she wants to chain back airs at some point, and then that wouldn't be something that she could do as easily. And she also has, although her ground speed is still really slow, the fact that you can dash dance in this game gives her more of an option to use grounded movement, because even if it's slow, she can still move back and forth and mix things up on the ground in neutral. All right, next up we have Incineroar. Incineroar is a character that I could definitely see being higher up than I have him in mid-tier here. He has among the best damage output of the entire cast and really strong kill options. He can kill you with a lot of different things. He also has the really interesting revenge counter mechanic where he can tank a hit, and it does a little knockback, so it's sort of a counter, but the more important part is that he powers up his next move, which can stack based on, like, I'm not sure, maybe it's 4 times if he counters moves subsequently, and this is also dependent on how strong the move is, and he can do things like he can use his, it powers up any move, but usually what you'll see is with the side B command grab, he will do that, and then he gets a ridiculous amount of damage. Like he can do like 50 to 70% off of one hit if he gets the proper timing on the command grab, which, any high-level Incineroar is going to be able to do, and get really early kills as well as tons of damage. He has down throw combos also, some edge guarding potential, but this character kind of has like really good highs and really low lows. He gets edge-guarded and gimped really easily as one of the worst recoveries in the game. It's not quite as bad as it may seem when you see strong players like who understand how to use it using him, but he's still a character that you hit him off stage a few times, get him like below ledge height, and he just really can't do anything. And he also can struggle in disadvantage despite having some potent aerials and a good counter. He is still pretty big, easy to hit, easy to combo, and he is heavy, so he lives pretty long, but he definitely struggles in a lot of ways too. All right, next up we have Samus and Dark Samus. They're pretty similar, so I'm going to put them together. And they're characters that, excuse me, pre-release were put really low. They were put like low tier, like worst in the game. But upon release, people saw that they were actually pretty solid, but they just didn't play the same way as people expected. They're no longer the character that wants to dash attack and do a bunch of up airs. They still can do a bunch of up airs, but they're not so reliant on that. They're more of a spacing with aerials and zoning out with projectile kind of character. But they still don't have anything too crazy, and losing combos does still hurt them in some way. So I'd like to see more of what like top level players who main this character or use this character in tournament will do. But for now, I'm going to put her in mid tier. All right, so next up, I made this tier list where I actually, arranged the tier list around a week ago. I've seen some things lately that are leading me to think Bayonetta is a lot better than I have her in this tier list. She might be high tier, maybe even top. But she's still definitely nerfed from her Smash 4 version. But she still has ridiculous combos with all of her special moves. She can still take you from 0 to really high percents or even death in certain cases. Witch Time is nerfed, but it's still really solid, and she can just counter you and get a kill with a smash attack if you're at kill percent for the smash attack. And she still has a really good recovery, although she can no longer sweet spot ledge with up B, or rather she can no longer snap. She has to sweet spot. And so, yeah, it's kind of hard to say. I mean, a lot of Bayo players have been dropping her, have been complaining that she's terrible or that she's been nerfed really hard. Some nerfs she did. So she may have had landing lag buffed as with the majority of the cast, but I know that she has some of her bullet art aerials have increased landing lag. So some of her neutral is a little nerfed from that. And her combos, although I'm not sure if it's due to frame data or hitbox size, I think is nerfed also. From what I've heard, like her combos don't string together as easily as they did in Smash 4 as like her aerial special combos. But the fact that you can no longer SDI reliably because SDI is just nerfed universally in this game definitely is a nerf to, or excuse me, is a buff to her combo game because now you can't escape her stuff as easily. And Witch Time, as I said, still something you have to respect when she's in disadvantage. She still has triple jump, so yeah, probably better, but definitely still nerfed. She's definitely not as good as she was in Smash 4. Next up, we have Doc. So I hear a lot of players saying, oh, no, Doc is better than Mario in this game, and I just don't see why. He basically seems to play like the same as he did in Smash 4. He got some buffs. His down air, he has a spike now with the down air. His previous down air was virtually useless, so it's not really like he has to sacrifice anything for this change. And he recovers a little better. It seems like his tornado goes higher. And also tornado for edge guarding is a lot stronger. He can get really early kills with the tornado off stage. But yeah, at the end of the day, he's still just a pretty slow character who gets a few small grab follow-ups, has 50-50s into fair at kill percent, but has very little range. As I said, little speed, no crazy combos. Like he doesn't have like nearly the damage output from combos as Mario does. And so far, maybe people have discovered kind of different ways to use his combos. His projectile's decent, but yeah, still gets gimped really easily. Despite having the tornado buff, his recovery is still pretty terrible. And yeah, I think he falls pretty much into the same place that he did in Smash 4, honestly. Next, we have Ganondorf, another character that I could see being put higher up. He definitely is very similar to his Smash 4 incarnation, but the simple fact of having reduced aerial landing lag helps him so much, because in neutral, the startup never mattered that much of his aerials, which are not that fast. But what matters is that he can swing them now, and it's harder to punish them. So like in Smash 4, even if he did like a neutral air or whatever, and if he lands with that without auto-canceling it, you get like a free grab, free punish, whatever you want. But in this game, he can swing a lot more, haphazardly, and you have to really respect that because his aerials do so much damage and a ton of knockback, and they're really dangerous. he also has, this is not necessarily like a huge thing, but his up B, like if he does the like up B at a shield on the ground or something like that, it has ridiculous knockback. Like I don't even know why. Like that move is just really scary. So that does give him a better out of shield option, and Ganon is prone to getting pressured a lot, so that's pretty relevant. On top of that, his down B, the late hit of it, I'm not even sure if it's a different hitbox. In Smash 4, the late hit was like not that strong compared to the first hit, which was really strong. But in Ultimate, the late hit of his grounded whiz kick, or Wizard's Foot, I think is the name of the move, is really strong, and it'll just kill you, like, maybe not as early as the beginning of it, but definitely really early nevertheless. But he's still a really slow character, although the dash dancing does help him a lot. The fact that you can dash dance, even if you have a slow character, it still gives you an option to make your movement more ambiguous. So he has that going for him. But yeah, still a really slow character, really bad disadvantage, poor recovery. So he's definitely nothing like crazy, but I could see him being in like the low end of high tier just because of how crazy his damage output is. Also, his smash attacks have a really good range now, which just makes them really scary, and they're pretty safe on shield. Not like completely safe, but pretty safe, so you kind of have to respect them. And it's really difficult to land because you can't air dodge too freely, and he has this giant sword coming at you with up smash and forward smash, and he can just kill you at like 60. All right, next up we have Mii Gunner. So I actually haven't seen too much of Mii Gunner. I should take a better look at my boy Proton. We got the best gunner in New York City. It goes to our locals, but I actually have not seen him yet, and I have not really seen... Actually, I saw a little bit, but I've seen some top players using the character and just mostly saying that the character is improved. Once again, the inability to power shield like you could in Smash 4 makes it a lot more difficult to deal with a campy projectile spammy character like this. So that's something relevant that is a buff to her. Her neutral air seems better, also with reduced landing lag, but still a character that's going to struggle once you get in, and can struggle with like reflectors and people that force her to approach. But she seems buffed. We'll have to see more. So next we have Pac-Man. So this is actually where I was when the video cut off, so we're finally catching up. So Pac-Man seems possibly better than he was in Smash 4. So he actually has results in that Sinji he won a Xeno, which is like a really stacked New York City local. You guys should check it out. Look at House of 3000's Twitch if you want to check that out, and or YouTube. But yeah, at the same time, Sinji was winning huge tournaments and even regionals with Pac-Man in Smash 4. So, and Pac-Man was most likely a low tier, maybe a mid tier in that game. So it's hard to say that, like, oh, he has to be better than mid-tier just because this guy's getting results, because Sinji's just a really good player, and the character's also just a tricky character to deal with. He has a lot of things, a lot of tools that he can pressure you with. Again, the power shield parry thing makes his projectile camping better. But I don't know if I can really say much about the character being improved overall. His grab, which is horrible, is still horrible, but it's a little better. I think the frame data is a little improved. And yeah, so Pac-Man seems pretty similar to how he was in Smash 4 ultimately, but he still works, you know. Good players like Sinji who understand how to use the character are still going to get results with him. I don't really know if I could put him above mid-tier, though. I just don't see anything broken, like anything that he didn't have in Smash 4. All right, so next up we have Wii Fit Trainer. So this character seems buffed a lot. I've seen some people do some ridiculous strings with the character where they get like 0 to 70 or 0 to 100. But our best Wii Fit Trainer in Smash 4, John Numbers, doesn't play the character anymore. He plays Inkling now, which is kind of funny because he mained a low tier or maybe a mid tier, whatever Wii Fit was in Smash 4, for the entirety of the game or most of the game, and now he plays the top tier and Wii Fit's actually good. So, but as to how good Wii Fit is, I don't know. I've not seen results from this character. Just a lot of people saying that she's, you know, solid. But she seems to still struggle the way she did in Smash 4. She kind of has some weird hitboxes that are difficult to utilize properly in multiple situations. And otherwise, I don't see too much change from her from Smash 4. But we'll have to see more as the results come out. So next we have Ridley. So sadly, I'm going to put Ridley as one of the worst of the big-bodied characters. I don't think he's bad. To clarify, I think... this was something I said in the previous recording of this video. I think all of these characters are very solid, and they're viable assuming you have other characters to cover matchups in tournaments. I think that they did a really good job of balancing this game from what we see so far, and it seems like most of these characters are just really solid, and they all have tools, and they all have stuff, even more so than Smash 4, where I would say that they all had tools and stuff in Smash 4 too, but In Ultimate, the characters, they seem solid. So yeah, Ridley, he has a lot of range. He has some pretty decent kill power, but he's huge. He's massive. He gets comboed to bits. His recovery is decent, but not that great, and it's also limited, despite how it may seem like Fox's. They're only like 4 or 6, or the angles are very limited that you can do with the up B, so that can make his recovery a little telegraphed too. And he doesn't have anything particularly crazy as far as combos go either. So yeah, nothing much else to say about Ridley. He's just a less broken, like he struggles with the same thing that the other big bodies do, but he's just kind of like less broken than the others tend to be. Next up we have Duck Hunt. This character could potentially be better. Duck Hunt was represented very highly in Smash 4 towards the end. He may have crept up to even being close to high tier, just with a lot of tools, and kind of confirms that he has. Now he can act out of his up B, at least air dodge. I'm not sure if he can do more, which does make his recovery a little less bad. His recovery is always kind of like obvious, and you can just go and hit him for it, but now he has a mix-up with it. Otherwise, haven't seen enough of this character yet. There's nothing to lead me to believe that he has anything broken, but he definitely has more tools than a low tier would, so that's why I'm putting him in mid tier for now. All right, we're going to get to the low tiers right after I take one sip. Boom. All right, so now we got the low tiers. So, to be clear, I don't think any of these characters are necessarily terrible, and they could definitely be different, but first off, we have Little Mac. So, Little Mac at first seemed like he would be really good in this game because his recovery is a little buffed, and his frame data, is still broken, and he still has crazy, ground game. But then what made me realize something that he lost, quote unquote. See, in Smash 4, Little Mac was one of the characters who used advanced movement like foxtrot canceling and perfect pivoting the best. He had an ability to be really unpredictable and neutral because he had all this movement, whereas most characters couldn't benefit from this movement in the same way as like him and Falcon could. But in this game, even a slow character has good movement and has dash dancing and stuff. So Little Mac no longer has that edge over characters in neutral despite having that kind of crazy movement. Now his disadvantage is even worse because he can't air dodge things for free. He still has, horrible airspeed, horrible aerials, so he can't really like defend himself in the air. His recovery is buffed a little bit, but the fact that he can't like air dodge off stage kind of makes it worse. You just hit him off stage, you hit him a couple times and he just dies. And yeah, I even saw Soul, who I believe was the best Little Mac in Smash 4, putting Little Mac as a low tier in this game. So there's definitely a lot of people putting him really down here. I'd like to see some people represent him and bring him up higher, but for now, I'm going to put him low tier as well as many others have. King Dedede is a character who definitely has a lot of tools and may be better than low tier, but it's hard to say because so many characters that I put in the mid tier also have a lot of tools. Dedede, I'd say he's buffed from Smash 4. Now he can, like, for one thing, he can inhale projectiles and spit them back out. He can also hit your shield with Gordo and then inhale the Gordo again. Or, I mean, he may not even have to hit your shield, but he can just inhale his own Gordo and spit it out. And I believe it makes it much stronger. So that's difficult to deal with. He's still got really big hitboxes, good kill power, lives forever, but he's going to get hit so much. He's even more susceptible off stage because of air dodge being nerfed. Really big body, just easy to keep hitting him once you hit him. His neutral is not that bad. He can be difficult to deal with in neutral because of Gordo, but you can still hit Gordo back to him. And although he has more options now to defend himself against that, it's still kind of dangerous. Again, this character could be better, but we'll have to see. All right, Bowser Jr. So we did see some Wendy combos online. I don't know why they were only showing Wendy, but whatever. And so he definitely, again, has tools, as I'm saying all the characters do. But nothing seems too broken about the character. He still seems to struggle in a lot of ways. Still has a pretty bad disadvantage. He can be edge guarded pretty easily. Not the craziest neutral. I don't know. Could be better than low tier, but a lot of people are saying low tier. I haven't seen anything to bring him higher. So I'm going to put him in low tier for now. And next up we have Kirby. So Kirby is kind of maybe nerfed by the game because he's kind of slow and doesn't have that much range, and he doesn't really have any extended combos either. I'm not really sure if he's low tier. This is, again, a character that I've just seen a lot of, former Kirby players and other players just saying that the character is not that good. And I haven't really seen, again, I say this a lot, but I haven't seen anything really changed my mind. I haven't seen anybody doing anything broken with the character. But yeah, having slow, like a slow moveset, not that many combos, and small range, kind of similar to Doc, but without some of the explosive qualities of Doc. That's going to put Kirby in low tier for now. I hope he raises higher, though, because Kirby was a character that has been decent. And he was decent in Smash 4. But yeah, guys, that's going to complete this tier list. You can let me know your thoughts in the comments. And I appreciate anybody who's watched this entire series. I'm going to try and do one of these tier list videos maybe every patch, maybe every time they like actually change the balance of the game, because I get a lot of views on these videos. I can tell that my audience is enjoying them, so I appreciate that, guys. But yeah, if you prefer other kinds of videos, or if you want to see these, please do subscribe to Game5 Smash. It would be mean a lot to me, and probably you too, because I'm going to be putting up a lot of good videos. I've been putting up a lot of videos lately in general that you can check out. Just put one up actually about a Diddy Kong's Infinite combo. If you haven't seen that one, you might want to check that out, because that's pretty crazy, and it may actually change the position of Diddy Kong on this tier list. Who knows? We'll see how people bring that into tournaments. But yeah, guys, once again, thanks for watching, and have yourself a good one. Bye-bye.